Think we are live. Yeah. Hello, guys, and welcome back. And let me just fix my background. Okay, let's just keep it in this way because and by the way, sorry for the yesterday's session because we just couldn't had that just because of some technical issue. And most of the time, technical issue is just a power outage. So, by the way, I'm really excited for today's session because today we are going to use a library called Express. So, it's going to be our first third-party library. But before starting, just do let me know that if you are able to hear me and you can see me as well. So just do let me know in the chat, and let me just put my video quantity to like let's just pause this video here because I don't want to see myself here. That's why I just keep this video to down. Yeah. So just yeah, you're able to hear me and as well as see me. That's great. Okay, that's great. So let's just start with the thing that we left. Yeah. So I'm just going to give you a quick recap what we did on the day 3. So it's going to be very easy for you to like continue because we had a break on the like yesterday. So that's why I'm just going to give you a quick recap. And yesterday we just created our first server using a module or a package. So these things are called modular packages. Remember, I just told you it's okay. It's this thing HTTP. It's just a file with some bunch of functions that we can import and export from some another file. So we are just importing it here. So this is a package actually, and we could have also created a package, but right now we are not doing that. We are just using this HTTP package, which was provided to us by the node itself. So this HTTP package have like multiple functions that will basically help us to create the server application. So by using this HTTP, we created our first server and that was running like charm. So it was very easy and I just explained you each and every line. So let me just give you a quick recap. In this first line, we were just importing or as you can say, requiring the HTTP module. Yeah. And we don't have to like make this file or like we don't have to do anything. It's pre-installed on your computer. You don't have to do anything else. Now, this HTTP module actually contain a function called create server. So we use this http.createServer and this HTTP here. Yeah, this one. So we required the whole module and we saved everything inside an object. So this thing is an object. And how to access something from an object? Just put a dot. So it could be like object dot name, object dot age. Similarly, we could also access the functions which are inside an object. So we are doing it here, http dot create server. So this function actually creates a server for us. So this function actually creates a server for us, and it's going to return us again an object. So it's an object. Again, it's an object, and this object contains a function called listen. So this is the most important function, and we don't typically do anything else here because this is where our server actually start listening for the request, and it's the port number. So our computer have multiple application, so we have to provide basically a port number on which port number our application is looking for the request. So that's why we have a port number here. You can basically enter any port number, it's not an issue, but just keep in mind it should not be greater than 9999. So just keep in this thing in mind, and otherwise the rest is good. And this function, this create server function, accepts a parameter. So this thing is a function and this thing can accept a parameter, and it should be a function, by the way. Yeah. So you can pass a value or something like that, anything you can pass to a function. But here in this case we are going to pass what we actually going to pass here. We are going to pass a, let me just go over here, increase the font size not clear. Okay, can you just who's what is your name? Roguman. Yeah, let me just check it here. Okay, so let me just fix the screen. And by the way, if it is not getting fixed, so just try to like check your, what do you say, uh this quality. Yeah, it could be the reason. It could be the reason. Okay. Yeah, we are going to do it. Yeah, wherever we are going to do it. It's an express code. We are going to do that. Okay, let's just go over here and let me just type a function here. So you can just type function. Okay, and you can name this anything or you can just leave the naming thing. So function is going to be named ABC and rest is same, just we did hello world. And this function ABC again have two parameter, request and response. request and response. Yeah. And this request is again an object. So as you can see, there are a lot of objects. So everything is all about object and functions. That's why I put like so much efforts on the functions, because JavaScript in whole is all about functions and objects. That's why. So it's again an object. So it's going to contain all the details about what we can say, all the details about the request. Yeah. What is the IP address, what is the path and all, etc., etc. And this one is the response. So by using this object, we can basically send back a response. So that's why in that case, we use this response object here. That's great. Okay. Now let me just go over here and let's just send a response. So response dot end and just say hello world. But okay. Now we have created our server, and just to start it, just type node app.js and press enter. Now our server is up and running, and I can check it as well. So if I just go over here and localhost, so localhost is my own IP address. You can just type 127.0.0.1 and the port number is 3000. So let's press enter, and here I'm getting hello world. Okay. So that was everything that we did in the last class. And if you want to like have a great look and everything in the depth, just visit my last class. So it's gonna be very crystal clear to you. Now, as you remember, I have just actually created this file, not directly. I just executed a command, and that command was npm init. And what is this npm is? So npm is just a package manager. So what is this package manager? Actually, it's just a manager for your project. So it will help us while we are creating an application. So it's not our like it's not nothing like something difficult. It's very easy because it generally help us to create a project. So how to maintain the files and how to maintain the third party libraries on all kind of stuff. So let's just start with our day 4 of session. Yeah. So let me just go over here to the day 4. So let me open the day 4 folder, and here I'm going to open my VS Code, and today we are going to use that npm thing, and also I'm just going to tell you about the database as well, and again also about the express. Okay, so let me just open my terminal here in the same folder, and I'm going to execute the same command here again, npm in it. Okay, and if I just press enter, it's going to ask me some questions like what is the name and what is the version, who is the author, git repository, etc., etc. If you don't want to answer any one of them, if you just want to stick with the default values, just press space and flag y. So it's basically going to answer everything to the yes. So if you just want to like skip all the answers, so if I just don't do it, if I just press enter, it's going to ask me a bunch of questions like what is going to be a project name. So I'm just saying it express server. Express server is my project name. Where press enter, what is the version? It's the first version. Description and express server for the essential program. Okay, any description of your program application will work. Press enter. Any entry point, just press enter here. Test command, just press enter here. We don't have any GitHub repository right now, just press enter here. Same for the GitHub. The keywords, author is me, so let me just type my name, and license nothing, and yes. Okay, so it has just created me this file, this package.json file, and I'm going to use this file basically to help like just to speed up my development, and also just to install some third-party libraries and all. And if you don't want to like just to if you don't want to type enter again, just go over here and just press space y. Yeah, space flag y. So like hyphen y, this thing. So it's going to answer everything yes for you. Okay, that's great. Now my next step is to create a new file here. So I'm going to with app.js name. Okay, that's great. And let me just copy paste all the code here. So let's just do const http require http. Okay, const server, because we are going to execute the function called http.createServer. Okay, this function can access have a function as a parameter. I'm not going to name this function anything. This function gonna have like request and response. So we generally type this request response as req and res. We don't basically type all the request and response here. And I'm just going to send back the response dot send or end basically, and hello, and let's just give it a save. And after that, I want to listen. So server dot listen, and the port number I want to use is 4000. You can type any number of you, and this thing can also accept a second parameter, and again this is a function. So if our code execute properly, so this function will get execute. So the function that we passed in this listen function as a parameter in the second part, yeah, this as a second parameter is going to be executed. So it's back, by the way, it's not necessary that you have to pass this, but if you want to like see any proper console log that your application is running properly, just stick with that. Yeah, just put this function here, and now I'm going to execute node app.js. Okay, if I just press enter, so our server is running. Okay, that's great. So I'm going to close it. So I just don't want to write this command again and again. Yeah, it sometimes become very much tricky. So someday if I just change my file name, yeah, if I just make this anything else, so it's going to be like little bit harder to manage that everything like that. And now what I want to use, by the way, the thing that I want to change here, I just don't want to use this HTTP module here to create my server. I don't want to use this thing, because creating a server by using this native HTTP module is little bit tricky, because you have to type a lot of general code that is not required, like doing all these things. Yeah, that's basically it's too much of work just for creating a small application. So if so we generally don't create a server REST API basically. So here we are creating a REST API. So we don't generally use this HTTP module. We basically use another module. And what is module? Module is just an like a file with bunch of functions. So there is a person, like there is a team who basically created another module named Express. Yeah. So we use Express generally to create the server, and it's much faster, much easier to work with, and you can basically create a huge application just by using Express. So how to use this Express? And you can Google it as well. So if I just type here Express.js in menu tab Express JS and just press enter, and you will be greeted with this website. So here basically it have you can see here how this thing works: fast, unopinionated, minimalistic web framework for Node.js. So you can just install this in your computer. But how I can install this Express thing on my application so that I can use it? So for that same purpose, we created this package JSON file and that npm thing. So what I'm going to do, just type npm install express, okay, and press enter. Now what this npm is going to do, it's going to install this express to our application. Yeah, this application that we are going to create. So similarly, in the same way that we have this http, we are also going to have this express. So now I can do that. Const express equals to require express, okay, and just save it. So now I can do this. So now I can use this express instead of http to create my application. And if you're wondering like where this express file is actually is, like previously I just told you that this http was by default installed into our machine by Node.js, but we installed this express manually. So if you just want to see this express, you can see that we have got a new folder here named as node modules. So if I open this thing, you can see there is a bunch of file installed here. And if you can look here, so this is the express thing here. So if I open this express, you can see this is the file. So if I just go over here and let me just open this one. So this is the file which actually contains all the functions that we are going to use. So it's a file, basically it contains everything. So we don't generally touch this node modules folder because we don't want to mess up with anything. So it's the thing that in which express is actually installed. So now instead of using http, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use express. So just to const express, and you will see how much easier it becomes to create a server by using express. To just create a server, just type const app or server, like server equals to, okay, express. Now to create a server, just type this line. So this express is a function, just type like express and execute it. Now this is your server, and similarly like in the previous case, just do server.listen. Okay, so we don't want to use it, by the way. I will just keep it here. Okay, so just at typing the boilerplate code that I don't want to use. Server.listen, listen. I just enter the port number. I'm going with 4000 port number. and give it a save. And if I just execute my program again by running the command node, okay, let me just do this, node app.js, and press enter, my server is up and running. And you can pass a second parameter as a function here as well, just to see that your server is running properly or not. Console.log, server is running on the port 4000. Okay, so my server is running on the port 4000. Yeah, so as you can see, it's very much easy. It's very easy to create a server by Express. Now, if you're wondering like how we are going to send a response, we are not sending any response here. As you can see, we are not sending any response. So I will tell you how to send a response by using this Express library. And it's very easy. Yeah, it's very, very easy. Before that, let me just go through the chat. Yeah. Yeah, you can use I as well. Yeah. So Vaibhav Jain is saying that Vaibhav is actually saying that you can install something by doing npm. Instead of install, you can just type I. But just to keep everything easy, I just put install. So you can just use I or install everything. Both are same. Yeah, both are same. Now let me just go over here, and there is a huge problem right now while developing my application. So whenever I make a small change in my application, like if I just change the spelling of this server to SARVER, yeah, so I have like capitalized the first letter, and if I give it a save, this application I have to like close it, and then I have to restart this application, and this is too much of work to do while developing the thing. So here the npm thing comes to the rescue again, because we have another package for that. So that package is called Nodemon. So for that, just type npm I Nodemon. So you can just do I or like install Nodemon. So by the way, I will just tell you where you can find all these packages, because we have like thousands of packages. So just type npm and space, enter, and you will be greeted with this website here, and you can just look up for any package that you are looking for. And here we have millions of packages just to make your life easier. That's why JavaScript and Node.js is so popular, because a bunch of developers are working with Node.js, and they are constantly creating these modules and these like files and all, so which actually help other developer to create their own applications. So it's just like a network. So like if I'm working on the same Node.js application, so I may create a module and I will put it on this npm website, so that you can use it as well. So it just creates an ecosystem. So that's why it's very easy to work with Node.js. And it's very reliable and fast as well. So if I just type here Nodemon, so if I'm just looking for Nodemon, and just press enter, and here we have basically looked for the Nodemon. If I just click over it, so it's just saying that how to install this Nodemon. So it's just saying that just type npm I Nodemon. Okay, just go over here, and I'm just going to paste this command. Okay, that's great. Okay, so let it just install for a while. It may take little bit of time, and you can look for the Express as well here, because Express is again a module. So if I just type Express here, Express, and enter, so it will look for the Express. So here we have Express, and similarly you also have HTTP here as well. So if I just type HTTP, and here we have HTTP here. Yeah, so you have like billions of libraries here, millions actually. Yeah, so that's why Node.js is very easy to work with. So I hope that it is installed already. Okay, now what I'm going to do, instead of doing node app.js, instead of doing that, so let me just clear out everything. So instead of doing node app.js, what I'm going to do, like if we were doing this thing previously, instead of that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do nodemon app.js and press enter. Now, as you can see, it's saying something else, but we are getting our output that server is running on the port 4000. Now, if I make any changes to our file, so if I just put an emoji here, okay, if I just put an emoji, and if I give it a save, as you can see, this server automatically got restarted. It closed itself and restarted it again. Just now very easy to work with. So I don't have to like every time I just have to like go over there and I have to close the server and then have to restart whenever I make a new change. So it's now very easy to work with this file. So that's why I'm doing this. And again, let me just go over to this file, yeah, package.json. And here you will find something in this sixth line, you will see something called scripts. Okay, scripts. So if you want to execute some command, yeah, so here this thing node1.app.js, this is a command, isn't it? And by using this file, you can execute some commands. Like it's very easy for to do. Just put here and type start. Yeah, start colon, and here you can just type the same command here. Nodemon app.js. Okay, and you can put like as much as command there. So if I just go over here and type dev, so I'm just going to do again nodemon.app.js, and I'm going to do node here. Yeah, so I have basically added two scripts here in the package JSON line. By the way, it's not compulsory. Like it's if you want, you can do that. So in this package.json file, go to the scripts object here and type a start, and in the front of start, just do node app.js, any command that you want to execute. And in the dev part, just type nodemon app.js. Now instead of typing nodemon app.js again and again, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do npm start. And if I just press enter, so that command got executed for us. So let me just go over here and let's just see what I think I haven't saved it. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to save the file, so that's why it just thrown us an error. So npm start and press enter. Okay, so my server is running on the port 4000. So I don't have to do that node app.js again and again. And if I just want to use, if I just want to execute this command, I will do npm dev. Okay, and you can put any name of your liking. Yeah, so if I just do npm dev and if I just press enter, so that nodemon.app.js command will be get executed. Okay, so let me just see if I haven't saved it. Okay, npm run dev. Yeah, if I just go over here and just do npm run dev and press enter. So npm run and whatever your command is, npm run and whatever your command is, that's all. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep a single command, this one start one. Yeah, because start and there is, in the case of start, you don't have to put run keyword here, that's why. So nodemon app.js, and if I just go over here and let me close this thing, and let's just clear everything and just do npm start and press enter. So this command will be get executed for us, and our life is little bit easier now. So now we can properly work on this file. So we don't have to focus on closing and restarting the server. We don't have to focus on what is the name of the file and all. So just type npm start and everything is working for us. So that's why I just told you that this package.json file is actually going to help us to work with this application. So before moving to the next part, let me just go through this thing, the chat. Yeah, okay. So let me just do, can we use dependency directly? No, you have to either install it locally, globally. So that's why you have to install the dependency until and unless it's the default dependency which is already installed by the node. So in that case, you have to basically use that, basically install them. Okay, so just do let me know in the chat that you got everything till now. We can use node one, so you did not have to. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Yeah, Kishan, somebody asked your question. Yeah, Puran Singh, actually we can make a mobile server. By the way, we don't do in generally, but you can that as well. So you have to develop an application for a mobile phone. In that case, yeah, you have to basically create an application for your mobile phone. Yeah, before moving to the next part, let me just go through, like tell you some, I have an announcement to do, and the announcement is the winner of our last quiz session. Yeah. No, Node will not work on the mobile application, because in the case of iOS, you have to write the application in Objective-C or in like Swift. And in the case of Android, you have to work with Java or Kotlin. So if you are comfortable with any of these language, you can create an application. Yeah. Yeah, I basically use Copilot for that. Yeah, Grijesh, I am using Copilot. How to connect with? Yeah, that we are going to do. Yeah, we are going to connect with the MongoDB database for now. No worries about it. Yeah, by the way, let me just go through the announcement. Okay, so here we are. So the winner of our last session was Suraj Rajput. So I think Suraj is here. So yeah, Suraj, you actually won 500 rupees of worth of Amazon coupon. So congratulations to you. And Grijesh, you won 150 LU points. And Nimanshu Jain got 100 LU points. Congratulations to you people. And again, you just like you can just it's again we are going to have two more quizzes, so don't like be that I'm not going to win. You can try and you may win your next. Yeah, Suraj, yeah, congratulations to you. Okay, that's great. Yeah, so okay, let's just move to the next part if you got everything till now. Okay, that's great. Okay, let me just go over here. Now let's just create our first endpoint. Yeah, so by using express, let's just create our first endpoint. So for before that, I want to explain something to you, that this is my server like 127.0.0.1. This is my IP address and the port number is 4000, isn't it? Yep. Okay. But you can also put a path. Okay. The app, basically what the person who is requesting to our server can actually add a path. And what is this path? Just put a slash here. Okay, this is a path. So a slash is a home path. A slash about is again a different path. A slash home is again a different path. A slash anything could be a path. Depending on this path, we are going to send different type of responses. Depending on this path, we are going to send different type of responses. So let's just create it. So what we want to do, just type server dot get. Okay, if we get a request on the path is slash home, I just want to execute this function. Okay, I just want to execute this function, and this function gonna have request and response. So I'm just going to send back a response dot send. Yeah, okay, hello. Yeah, I'm just sending hello here. And as you can see here, that I'm using response.send instead of response.end, because in the case of express we use send instead of end. So this is the only difference between HTTP, like in the case of syntax, just do response.send to send back a response. Yeah, hello world from home path. Okay, and you can create as much as path you want. So server.get about, and what I'm going to send back a response. Okay, so here I'm sending a response, hello world from the about path, and you can create as much as endpoints you want. Servers.get contact. Okay, so here I'm sending something like this. Let me create one more. Let's just create one more, and this is list like movies and all. Okay, movies, and here I'm going to send a movie. Okay, so we are for the movies, actually what I want to send and data. Yeah, const movies. Basically I just want to send an array. Okay, array of list of movies. So let me just create a list of movies, Godfather and the Godfather 2. So I'm just going to send this movies. And if you want to send a data like object on array, instead of using send here, just type response.json and put the thing here, and let's just give it a save. Okay, and let's just see if that our all the endpoints are working properly or not. So for testing purposes, I'm going to use our browser as a request. Yeah, so to make a request to a server, you also need an application. It could be a browser, it could be a mobile application, it could be a robot, it could be anything. So we are not worried about that. So we are backend developer. We are not like worried like which is the thing that is requesting to us. We just know that if somebody is requesting to us, we just want to send back a response. So I'm going to use this Chrome browser for the request, but later I'm just going to use an application specifically for the testing purposes only. So let's just hit to our server localhost 4000 slash and press enter. So we got hello world from the home path. Let's just put slash about and press enter. Hello world from the about path slash contact, press enter from the contact path from the movies and press enter, and we got the movies list of all the movies. So it's a data which actually we are one step closer to create a server. Yeah, so isn't it so easy to do that with the server, like with express and it's going to become easier and easier. And I'm also going to teach you some more fun things like by doing these things. So just do let me know in the chat if you got everything till now. Yeah, let me just go through the chat. Yeah, okay, so it's very easy. So we are actually creating some path. So not just if somebody requests to our endpoint that my IP address colon the port number, and after the slash I'm just like if somebody put something else there, we are sending back some different type of data. Yeah, depending on the request. So okay, instead of writing the whole bunch again and again, yeah, response dot write. Yeah, we can do that, but Vaibhav, we are doing everything from the scratch, so we cannot jump to the big guns right now. Playing games is asking how can we send all the pages instead of one? How can we send all pages in inside a one path? Okay, but why you want to do that? Why? So we are not sending the pages. We are sending some data. We are not actually sending the pages and all here. So I just did this just for the testing purposes. We are not actually going to send this pages and all. We are always going to send some data. And okay, playing is asking like Node.js or Java. So look, this question is relatively, yeah. It's you cannot just say that something is better than something else. For me, till now, through my experience, everything that I know till now, according to me, that everything is really good. You just have to be master of one gun. Yeah, just learn. If you just want to go with the Node.js, stick with the Node.js. If you just want to go with the Java, just go with the Java. But before choosing something, you have to like look for what is your interest. If you are interested in the web development kind of thing and also in the mobile development, go with the Node.js. If you're interested in backend development, front end development, and also in the mobile development, just go stick with the JavaScript. Yeah. If you're interested in mobile development and in the backend development, you can go with the Java and all. But Java is little bit difficult to work with because of its complete object oriented concepts and all. But Node is relatively easy and it's easier to pick so that you can land a job and your package is also be same as Java developer, or in some cases the Node.js developer may get more package than the Java developer, but it completely depends on the experience and your skills. So that's why I won't say that this thing is better than this thing or not. You can choose whatever your liking is, but personally, why I choose Node.js, because I was interested in the in the JavaScript environment, yeah, ecosystem. Because just by learning JavaScript, I could just develop a front end application using React and all. I could also make a back end application by using Node. I could make a mobile application by using React Native. So just because of that, I just go choose Node.js as my career option. Yeah, so you can choose whatever your liking is. Yeah, those that will be my answer in that case. Okay, so let's move to the next part, because now we have created some of the paths. So let me just give me 1 second. Okay, I have to stop my cam because I have to fix some. Okay, I hope you will be able to see me. Okay, so here you are able to see me. Yeah. So now, as you can see, what we are doing here, server.get and home path. Okay, so let me just remove all the paths here. Okay, and we are just gonna keep the home path now. Now what I want to do, instead of sending this thing, I just want to send a list of data. Yeah, and again, I'm just going to go with the what we say uh, with the uh, with the movies. Yeah, but now, so this thing is an array, isn't it? I'm going to send an array of movies. So I'm just going to create an array of objects. So here I'm using creating an array of object, and each object gonna have some properties like id1, a name like a John Doe. Okay, basically let me just rename it so that a copilot can suggest us something. Movies. So the title and some releasing date as well, release, direction, rating and all. Okay, so let me just add some more object here. So basically I'm creating an array of objects. Yeah, so you can basically create an array of anything. So here I'm creating an array of objects. So I'm going to send this. So let's just create some more. So let's just stick with the 3 movies. Yeah, I think it will be more than enough for the explanation. Okay. Okay, I think I forgot to put some comma or something like that. Okay, let's just do here. Okay, let me just remove this because yeah, server.listen, and I think we forgot to put. Okay, so there was a typo, that's why there was a little bit of typo. So here I've created an array of object. So remember, object like const obj, and this is an object. So an object can have name or any property like that. So what I have actually done, I have created an array of object. To create an array of objects, just copy this part and just put it here. So suppose if I want to access this property, what I will do? So this is the first element of the array. So what I will do? ARR, the index of 0 dot name. Okay. So the array, in the array, go to the first index element and it's an object. So just do dot name. So generally we use array of objects to send the data and all. So that's why I'm going with this thing. And now what I'm going to send this thing. So response dot JSON. Yeah, JSON. So Express is making things easier for us. So if you're sending some kind of array or objects, just do response.json, and inside of it just type movies and give it a save. Okay, that's great. Now let me open my this thing and let's just refresh it. So we are getting the list of all the objects. If you just use a Firefox browser, you will see it in a better way. So Firefox is a little bit better browser for the development purposes, but generally it's not a good browser for all kind of different stuff. So here we got the data from my server. So this is the server and we got 3 data: the movie releasing date, director, and etc. and all. Okay, but if you look closely here, what we have written here, this thing get. What is this get here? So this thing is called end method. Okay, this thing is called method. So this thing is called path, but let me correct myself. This is not path. What we say it in the backend technology term, we call it route. So this is the home route, this is the about route, this could be any route and all and all. So this thing we call route. Yeah, and this is our function that will get executed on this route, and this is a method. So let me just show you an example. So this is my IP address. Okay, 127.0.0.1. This is my port number 4000, and route, it could be home. So in case my route is home, but on the same route you can change the method. Okay, so by default Chrome uses the get method. Okay, so if somebody requests on my this particular route with the get method, I will send back this response. Yeah, if somebody requests on this same route with the post method, I will send back some different response. And we have list of all these methods. And let me just show you the list of methods. So let me just open my Thunder client. Okay, so the new request. So we have these are the some of the method: get, post, put, delete, patch. So we generally use only these 4: get, put, post, delete, patch. Okay, so we just use these 5 or something like that, 3 to 5. Yeah, we generally use these 5 methods only. Yeah, so you don't have to like memorize everything. Yeah, and why we are using these methods and all, so that on the same route we can send some different responses depending on the what we say the method. Otherwise we will be out of all the routes. You basically have to create again and again route for everything. So what I'm going to do, let me just cut this thing and let's create server.get the home route. I'm going to execute this function. Yeah, I'm going to execute this function, and let this function gonna have 2 parameter, request and response. And what I'm going to do, response.send get method. So I'm just sending this thing, get method on home route, or just type /route. Okay, and if I just go over here and if I just press enter, I'm getting get method on the home route. So we can notice that this Chrome is actually sending the home get method. So how to change these methods and all? So again, we are not the one who are basically gonna send these setting these methods and all. We are just setting building an application, the backend application. So for that, I'm just going to use this Thunder client. So for that, just go over here in your extension part and just type Thunder client. Yeah, this Thunder client, and just install it, and you will find this Thunder icon here. And what is the Thunder client? Basically it's help us to test our application, that what will happen if somebody send this request on this route with this method, what will be sent back. So that in that case, because we are not developing a front-end application, we are not developing a mobile application right now, we are just developing a backend server. So that's why, just to test that what will happen if somebody do this kind of thing. So in that case, we can just go over here. Okay, so let me delete all these things. So let me just delete everything here. Okay, delete. Okay, so you will basically, you're just going to have, okay, this blank string here. Yeah. So go over here, new request. So we are just going to create a new request. Okay, create new request here, and here you have to pass the IP address. So our IP address is this. Okay, the IP address is this, and you can change the methods here. So I'm just going with the get method and send. So here we got get method on the home route, yeah, on the slash route, the exact same output that we were getting here. So now I'm not going to use these Chrome browser. I'm just going to use this thing, and see if I just do post here, if I send it, so we are getting some error 404 not found. Why? Because we are not sending any proper response. If the front end guy just change the method to get to the post, from get to post, we are not handling the post method. We are just handling the get method here. We are just handling the get method. We are not handling the post method. In that case, what I want to do, I am just going to create server.post. Okay, and just on the home route, I am just going to execute this function. So now I am handling the post method as well. Request response, and let's send back the response. Send the post method on the home route. So if somebody sends a get method, we are going to send this response. If somebody sends a post method, I'm going to send back this response. So let me just send it, and we are getting the post method here. If I just change this to get, we are getting get method here. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that, because we are not going to create like every like a new route for something new. We can use the same route for the multiple thing, and generally there is some kind of protocols that we generally follow. And what is this protocol? So if somebody wants some data, okay, so they will generally use the get method. If they want some data from us, yeah, something like, can you just share me all the movies, can you just share me a list of all the users, can you just share me all the messages that I got? They will generally use the get method. Okay, if they want to give us something, okay, just take my message, can you post this my Instagram post, can you just store this movie in your database? So they will just use the post method. It's not necessary, but it's the tradition. Okay, and if they want to, they want something to delete. Okay, if the front end guy just want to delete something from our database, they will just use the delete method on the same route. And if they just want to update something on our database, they will use the put or the patch. Okay, put or patch. So that's why I just told you that in generally we just use 5 methods and all. Okay, we just have to handle these 5 methods. That's all. Okay, so again we have to handle each and every method, otherwise we are going to give our it's just going to say that 404 not found, because we are not sending any proper response for this. So that's why we are getting 404 not found. Okay, so let me just handle all these 4 requests. Okay, so I'm copy pasting everything. Okay, that's great. So I'm just going to do patch here. So I'm just going to handle the patch here. So patch. Okay, and I'm just going to delete here. Delete. Okay, and let me just delete. Okay, I'm not handling the put right now. So if I just do post, I'm getting post. If I just put, okay, sorry, we are not handling put here. We are handling patch here. Patch, delete and delete. Okay, that's great. Okay, and you can see that all of your requests got saved here. So if you just want to visit them again, they will save automatically will get saved in the right side. So if you just want to visit the delete method, you can see it here. Okay, okay, so let me just create a list of movies again. I go for the for the last time, I'm just going to create the movies. So here we are going to understand about the database. So movies, yeah, year. Okay, please do it as fast as rating. Okay, I think it's enough. Okay, I think 2 movies are more than enough. So somebody will send us a home on the route home. They will send get method. I will send the data. I will send the data movies. Yeah, movies. Okay, that's great. And you can see I just don't have to restart my server again and again, because server is restarting automatically whenever I give it a say by the Nodemon. So we don't have to do it again and again. Isn't it like my life is little bit easier right now? So let me open my Thunder client and let us go with the this get method. So if I send it, so I'm just getting all the list. Yeah. So these two are the movies that is stored in our database. So we are now starting the database here. So this is our database for now. We are going to use a proper database, MongoDB. For now, we are trying to mimic the database so that we can understand what is actually a database. So database is actually a place where we can store some data. So we can basically send it back to the user. So database can store all the list of users. It can store all the list of messages and all, or it can store posts and everything like that. So it's our mini database. Yeah, cute database. So we have a very cute small database for now, and later down the line we are going to use the big guns. We are going to use the MongoDB. Okay. So here I'm using, if somebody sends a request on the home route with the get method, I'm basically sending the list of all the movies. Okay, that's great. So we are actually going to create an application with all the CRUD operation. So I'm just going to explain what is CRUD as well. So let me just open this thing so that I can go with the chat. Otherwise, like, okay, I'm using the material themes. Yeah, my font, like I have a bunch of font. I will just list you all the fonts. So yeah, I am really good with these decoration kind of things. Yeah. Yeah. Shodhan, yeah. Thunder client is like a postman. So Sudram is suggesting us postman. So if you just want to use postman also. So if you don't, yeah, if you are not comfortable with this Thunder client, okay. So we have an application called Postman here. So you can download it as well. So just type Postman. But the thing is, Postman is a little bit heavy. So if you're developing a proper a huge application, use this. Just download it. So I am personally use Postman, by the way. So let me just open my Postman. So if you just install it and let it just open. And by the way, Postman is created by the Indian developers. So if you're like into made in India, just go with the Postman. So it's same as Thunder client, by the way. It's same as Thunder client. So I just use it for my personal projects and all. So if I just go over here, so you can just create a new request. So let me just create a new request. So new request. So new HTTP request, it will just show you what you want to do. So a new HTTP request, let me just paste my code here. Okay, just paste your thing here. Okay, the method is going to be get, yeah, the get method on our request and send it. And this is the data we got. Yeah, so it's same. So it's same as using the Thunder client, but Postman also have some more features. So it's a complete. It may require a video of its own. So that's why I'm skipping it. But because for now, Thunder client is more than enough, and it's able to do everything that its Postman is able to do. So you don't have to like explicitly like you have to install Postman. Yeah, you don't have to do that. So let me just go over here again, and let's just create a handle, the post method. And in the post method, what I want to do, I just want to store, if in the case of post here, if somebody wanna send us a post request, yeah, post request, what I want to do, okay, okay, what I actually want to do, they basically will send a data, okay, they will send a data, okay, in the body, okay. So just to add the body, just go over here in the body, okay. Go over in the body. In the body, they will place an object here like name, okay. So please, can you suggest me a name of movie, also the release date, okay, name, year, and also the year as well, okay. So this is the front end person, okay. I'm trying to mimic a front end person. So now I'm a front end person. Okay. I'm just sending some data to the server in the body. And we are not like concerned with how they are going to send us the body. We just want the body. Yeah. They know how to send the body. So here I'm trying to mimic the front end person rating as well. So by the way, just please suggest me a movie. I'm really not good with these movies and all. Okay. So let me just go to the chat. Yeah, Hardik, I will just cover the Thunder client. playing game is asking how many days to learn Node.js. Yeah, if you join our course, it will take 2 months. I don't know about all the papers. Like it completely depends on you and how from where you are learning. If you are going to self-learn it by yourself, it may to become a job-ready person, it may require like 6 months to a year. But if you are like joining a course or something like that, so it may require 2 to 3 months. So it completely depends what is your mode of learning, and again how much interest you have in these things. So it's completely depend on that. By the way, I will just go with, yeah, She-Hulk. Let's just go with the She-Hulk. By the way, She-Hulk is not a movie, it's an show. Okay. Let's just go with the She-Hulk for now. Okay. Let me just copy it. Yeah. So let's just go with the She-Hulk. And the year is 2022. And I'm not I don't know the ratings. Let's just put it 8.7. Okay. So the front end guy is actually going to send a request on the same IP address with the method post here, and they are actually going to send us a body. In this body, they will send us the data. So let me just handle the post request. So let's just go over to the post request, and we are going to get. So remember what I told you, that in the request we actually have all the details about the request. Yeah. So if I just do a console.log of request.body, I will get all the data that was presented in the body. Yeah. So I will, if I just do a console.log of request.body. So if somebody is sending us a request, and if they are putting a body in that request, so I can get the body inside this request.body. And by the way, let me just send the response. Okay, your movie is added for now. Okay, your movie is added. Okay, we are not actually adding a movie, we are sending it for now. Yeah, we will do that. Okay, we will figure out how to do it, but for now what I'm just going to send back a response. Okay, so your movie is added. Yeah. So if I just go over here in the terminal just to check if we got this request.body, you will see that we haven't got anything here. We are getting undefined in the request.body because if you want to get the body, you actually have to add a single line here. Okay, in our database, like in our server, and it's very easy. I'm just going to type that line, and after that I will explain like what is the meaning of that line. So let me just type that line for now. Server dot use, and I will just explain like what is this uses express dot json. Yeah, and I will explain this thing. But for now, let me just go over here and if I just send the request again. So again, for the guys like who are not comfortable with the Thunder client, let me just tell you, Thunder client is just an extension of the VS code. In the VS code, it's just an extension which is going to help us to mimic the front end guy, like the guy who is going to consume our backend services. So for that, just go to the extension part, like here, click here and just type Thunder client, and you will be greeted with this page, and install it. After you have installed it, in your panel, this right panel, you will see this Bijli ka icon. Just click over it, and now you can basically create a new request to mimic something. So here you can just send a request to anything, like for now we are sending the request to our own server. So I will just put my IP address here, the method that you want to use, and send. Okay, so you can see like what is the response you are getting. Yeah, so this is the just to mimic the front end guy. So let me just delete it. Okay, so let's just go to the post method. Okay, so let us send the post method request again, and just look closely in the console part. If I just send the request, okay, okay, as you can see in the console part, we are getting the body. If I just send a request, so okay, so we are getting the body with the person who in the front end send us. So if I just send us something like instead of She-Hulk, if I just send like Moon Knight, again it's not a movie, it's a show. Okay, if the front end guy sends Moon Knight, and if I send it, we will get in the back end. Yeah. Okay, let me send it. Okay, so we got Moon Knight 2 times because I clicked 2 times there. So now we are getting the data in the movie, this thing request.body. So let me just put a comment here so it will be easier for you to understand after some time. So it is the data provided did by the client. Okay, client is the user in the body, in the request body. Okay, now what I want to do, i just want to I just want to push this thing. Yeah, I just want to push this thing into this thing, this our database. So I just want to add this movie into our database. For now our database is just an array. So what you can do, if you want to add item to an array, so if you just create an array. Okay, if I just create an array like 1 2 3, and if you just want to add something more in this array, all you have to do array dot push and type like 10. So 10 will be added to this array. So again, as you can see, this our database is an array for now. And for that, what you can do, you can just do movies dot push request dot body, movies dot push request dot body, and after that we are sending that your movie is added. Yeah, and let me just save, and let's just go to the post method here. Okay, so they want to add this thing, the moon night here. So they will send, and we got the response, your movie is added. Now go to the get method. Okay, so let me just change it to the get, and if I send a response, so okay, so as you can see, the movie that the front end guy sent it is added to our database. Okay, so if I just send this request from anywhere, if I just send the response here, so we are get, as you can see, the movie moon night is added to our database. So as I told you, depending what is the use case, we are actually going to perform some actions depending on the request and depending on the method. Similarly, for the delete, we will actually going to delete the things from our database. In the case of patch, we are going to update a movie from our database. So in the tomorrow session, we are actually going to work with the MongoDB, because for now, you know about, you have like covered everything. Yeah, you have covered most of the things. Now let me just cover today's last topic is this, what is this server dot uses, what is this server dot uses. But before that, just let me just go through the chat and just do let me know, like, yeah, we are going to explain that. Yeah, Suraj, like till now, if you just got everything that I have told you till now. And by the way, in the today's session, I'm going to share the code as well. What is no? Okay. Maruko, I haven't used Sublime so much. So sorry, in that case, I don't know extension for the Sublime. By the way, you can also switch to the VS Code. It's a pretty good text editor. Yeah. Why we are using post method, uh, method? Why we are using post method in the JSON or other another? Can you just explain? Can you, Ian? Can you just explain me this thing? What you have asking? Okay, Weber is asking what is the response to JSON. Okay, I will tell you that. So if you want to send, like, let me just go through this post method. Yeah, I'm just going to go work with this post method. Okay, okay, just create a new route for your testing route, so that I can explain what is this JSON and all. So server dot get, yeah, I'm just going to get method on the route test. Yeah, we are just adding a route test here. The function that I want to execute is this one, function request and response. Okay, so I'm just going to send a response here. Okay, okay, test. Okay, so if somebody sends a request, so get method on the path test, get method on the path test, route test, send, we are getting the output. Let me just clear it for now, because we don't need body here. So on the get method on my IP address on the route test, we are getting this output. Isn't it really good? Really great. Because I am using here response.send. I am using response.send. And if you just want to send a single data, yeah, like number, like 1,000 or 100 or something like that, and if I save it, okay, so it's just actually starting here. Okay, sorry. If you just want to send a string, if you're just sending a string, just use response.send. If you're sending a string, if you're sending an array or an object, if I just create an array or an object, so if I just create an object here, name Sanjay, Sebastian, okay, go with the Sebastian, age 30. So if you try to send a object using response.send, okay, so it will work, but we generally don't do it. Okay, We generally don't do it. If you want to send, okay, it will work, but don't do this. If you want to send an object or something like that, so in that case, just do JSON. Okay, just use response.json if you are going to send. On, I will tell you why I am doing this. So remember, when you send back a response, you also have to tell that what kind of data you are sending. Okay. So like yesterday, like day before yesterday, what we did, we also set up the headers. So you can also do this here, like response.header dot access. You can like do here content type. Okay. Content type, and you have to like mention what is the type of content you are going to send, but it's little bit hectic to do it again and again. And remember, express is easy. So if you're sending object or some, if you're sending some data in the object and all, just put, if you just use response.send, and if I just send it again, so it's just sending the kind of string. If you just want to apply the header to be application JSON, just use JSON. Okay, so that's the only difference. By the way, you can use any one of them. So it's just saying the content type is application JSON. Okay, the content type is application. Express is little bit smart, so it will directly just assume, but it will directly do it for you. But generally, just use just for rest.json if you are going to send an object, and if you're just sending a string, just go with the response.send. And also, you can also send the status. This is the status. Like if you are allowing the request, just send response.status 200. And what is this status is saying that basically we have a list of these codes, and you again don't have to memorize all these codes and all. So like 200 means, okay, the server is saying that we accepted your request. Okay, so just set request 200, and if you don't set up any status and all, so it will be directly added by default. So if I send it, so we got 200. If I change it to 201, the status code will be 201. So now it's 201. Okay, so depending on, like if I just put it 401, so we got an error. Yeah, so because 401 is for error. If I just put it 404, it's just saying 404 not found. So depending what is the status, front end will actually react. So it's not our headache. We just put a status code just to tell the client, okay, we accepted your request. No, we are not accepting your request and all. And I will just cover all the like we have 3 or 4 status code that we work with most of the time, and I will cover that. But the for now, I'm just going with the status code. This thing, yeah. So if you want to set up the status code, just do this. Setting status code. Again, it's not mandatory. You can skip it. Express will do it for you after anyways by default. And sending the response. Yeah. And if you just want to send a string, just do response.send. And now let me just cover what is this thing. What is this thing? What is this? What is this server.use? So if you want to run a function on every request, on every method, on any route, okay, no matter what is the route, what is the method, if you want to run a function, just you can just do that by doing server.use, and whatever function that you pass inside of it, okay, this function will get executed. And I will actually cover this thing in the tomorrow's lecture in more depth, but this is the function, okay, always running function, will run always, okay. And I will explain what everything. So this is actually middleware. So if I just go in my terminal, and if I send this route, yeah, we are sending get request on our test route, you will say will run off. You can see this function got executed, will run object, this thing got executed, even though we haven't like specified. If I just change my route, this again got executed. Response is changed, but this got executed. If I change my post method, this got executed. So depending, like this thing is called middleware. And for the rest of the details, you have to join me in the tomorrow session. Like there's more than enough knowledge in the one session. I hope you enjoyed today's session. And by the way, you can collect all of your doubts for the tomorrow session. I will try to cover each and everything, and we are going to use the database, the MongoDB database, in the tomorrow session. And if you're wondering why we are using Express, because Express is so popular, I think you have heard about the MERN. M stands for MongoDB, E stands for Express, R stands for React, and N stands for Node.js. So Node.js, React, Express, and MongoDB. So Express is so much popular. If you want to land a job, just learn Express. Okay, so that's it for today's lecture. And by the way, before ending the session, all I want to tell you that if you are liking what we people are doing here, and if you're just getting any interest in this backend development, on the web development, also if you're into front end, any kind of stuff, you can just visit our website. And I hope you are already signed up. Just go to the start learning, click here, and you can see we have two courses: the full stack web development course and the full stack data science course. And as you can see, these courses are completely job ready. We will cover everything from the very scratch to the very advanced, and we will guarantee you a job after the end of this course. And if you have any kind of interest, if you're like just want to know more about these things, you can get to in these courses. And all the trainers in our institute are basically the real developers. We are not teachers. We are, what we say, a trainer, like a real guy. So we actually work as a team, like so it's a lot of fun. So maybe you can see me in the session, in the real session. And by the way, that's enough for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And by the way, also take the quiz. Maybe you could be the winner for the tomorrow's quiz. Yeah. Bye bye and have a nice day. And okay.